Men are the major boundary crossers of everything on earth. Now some would argue that that's why countries were discovered and all that, and I said, bullshit.
That's why there's lines between them.
That's why there's those signs. You've now entered on Google, because...
On Google, found it.
Yeah, found it. No, I'll leave that up to me. I'll put a boundary.
Their wife set the boundary back home that they should stay home and help them, and then they took off.
And then they go off and set other boundaries. And it's just ugly from there. No, I know that men are the major boundary crossers of people's space. I was one. I am one of them still. Do I back down if people are engaged in war in my face that's rude? Hell no. Will I go in with nuclear warheads and battle and throw fists and no. But I am definitely fun to have a parlay with, and a verbal parlay, I'll say. And
but you do back down.
Of course I do.
Yeah.
Because I set boundaries to keep myself healthy, not others. I'm hoping that people understand that. That's the whole idea of boundaries, is you want to keep yourself sane and balanced in a fairly crazy world, which it always has been. People don't realize that the world's always been crazy. I mean, every time period is different. But in the wild, wild west, they're going, the world's coming to an end. It's crazy. Everybody's crazy. They're out shooting each other. Someone invented guns. Now they're robbing banks. It's crazy. You know, you go back in the 14th century. It's crazy. The church is hanging me by my fingernails. It's crazy. Everybody's dying. And blah, 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 blah. Every era thinks their era is crazier than the other era. Everyone should figure that pattern out. But what remains from the beginning of time is nobody ever respected anybody's boundaries. Human nature. I want to say all sorts of rude things, so I just edited major there, and I'll say, if there's a boundary, cross it. Human nature. I want to get to know you, so I'm going to piss you off. Really. Or I want to get to know you, I'm going to act real sweet and awesome, and then piss you off. Worse yet.
I love you so much, I shall punish you.
Worse yet. So, now let's relate the first part of this discussion. We have family, conflict, self, learning values. Oops. So we have confusion. Then we have meeting others, and they're all confused. So now, really what you've got is a bunch of blind people in a dark room with flashlights making each other see white. That's it. Just, hey, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Hey, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. But I like you. I like you too. Well, then, get the flashlight out of my face. Get your flashlight out of my face, and then someone else comes up. I think there's a bunch of blind people on earth walking around in a dark room. Flashlights. Quote on that. I find that really hilarious. Totally appropriate. And very sad. Because the fact is they're blind because they forgot to take off their blinders. Yes, there is another way. I find that the groups involved with anything to do with time to heal the people, that they get healthy. I find that our clients are becoming healthy. Is this a arrogant, ostentatious, pretentious thing to say, or not? Clients?
No.
Why? By what right do I have to say that?
Truth.
Whose truth is it?
All of ours.
So what is it based on? It's got to be based on something.
Observation. Self-empowerment.
Okay, so what makes you guys healthy? How can we claim this title? How do you wear this healthy crown? Isn't that interesting?
Your energy.
Your energy?
Everybody has a crown. There's a crown.
There is a crown. In fact, when you start to love yourself, the way your energy burns does crown you. It burns much more even, much more there's a central pier of ultraviolet fire that burns above people constantly. You're just a propane furnace waiting to explode. Very much. The energy's spark. Yeah? But how many people can see those energies? People can feel them. Now, do people always respond great to healthy people? Boy, people sure treated me good at the garage. They sure love me. They sure love the idea of having a community clinic and then right across from the hair salon. They love me. Is healthy definable by this? By you feel good more than you feel bad, and you like to share it with people. Oh, look at that. Wow, that's deep. How do you like that one? Shall we review? You feel good more than you feel bad, and you want to share the good with people. Look at that. That's so deep. How do I do it? It took me years to come up with that. Yeah, I noticed that with healthy people right away. If you travel anywhere in the world, you don't have to speak the language. It's easy to spot the healthy people. They feel good about themselves more than bad. They share positivity. And they share that with other people in a good way. Not in a mafia way, which appears to be good, but in a long-term good way. It's consistent. The word consistent. What do we offer at Time to Heal? Consistent. That's the key word. So how should your boundaries be?
Consistent.
Oh my goodness, and how many people's boundaries? Wow, I go through a lot of glasses. I'm getting a wide array of different glasses. It's really cool.
Because I just broke you.
Good point. Say 7 different glasses. What are we doing here? An attempted poisoning live on stage. I have a good imagination.
Don't drink the bad milk.
I love how that was also very funny. How comfortable people here is going to stand up, and yes, clients get healthier here because they become more consistently happy. What a concept. It's a very good... Stop it! Stop with the glass thing. Everybody, stop it. I'm going to speak now. Whatever. Stop it. Thank you. Now, hey, let's see what you wrote. Maintaining self, creating healthy relationships. Okay, so...
No, look at the last one.
You're so good. You're consistent.
Consistent stability.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. You're amazingly smart. No, and what I want to establish is, for the last round we've learned that our families have messed us up. We really don't know how to set healthy boundaries. When we do, they could be based on false, what I'm going to say is attitudes, and false latitudes, how we situation ourselves. And we think we're setting healthy boundaries when in fact we are setting our hands up and saying, keep a distance. I don't consider that boundaries. Here's the news. This one you guys are going to love. The healthiest of boundaries were set by Nelson Mandela publicly and Martin Luther King. They're right. If you are totally vulnerable, block nothing, and then allow people to be, then they try and assault you, that's when your boundaries should be in place. So actually, boundary setting starts by being totally vulnerable. How many people like to hear that? Corey, does that excite you? Being totally vulnerable.
Not really. There.
I hear you.
I can say
You know
why
when
I like it though.
Yes?
Because when you're totally vulnerable, you can assess where people are at clearly.
Yes.
Like not wearing muddy glasses. You can see where they're actually coming from and then gauge yourself accordingly.
Because they think you're stupid when you're... They think you're just a moron, a Forrest Gump of occasions. So they come at you with their shit. Crap. Stop. There they are, in your face, being a moron. And you married it. No, I'm kidding. Every day. Woo! Here comes Act 6. from the Moronics. Scene 5. Yay.
Again.
I plan to not do that. And I can't see why people can't give adjustments. And we've learned that taking what I call sabbaticals in relationships is really healthy. And if they plan that instead of doing what the church trained people to do, people could actually learn boundaries. Because they learn what they respect about each other. And when they weren't doing that behavior that respect, they know to set boundaries. That's the way to learn boundaries. Instead, we have a disposable society that sets these concrete boundaries, fine, but they don't have any play in the walls. That's why I like ripple boundaries, because they move in and out. They allow for some play and interplay with people. There has to be some forgiveness, let's say. So, we've all been brainwashed that our boundaries, once they're crossed, oh my God, you've sinned, you've got to go into the box, you've got to pray, you've crossed the boundaries of God. Oh, don't cross God's boundaries, oh my goodness. Kneel for 7 hours, carry some beads. We've been brainwashed. Whatever the hell. I don't get the whole thing. Not unless you're into beadwork, and then it's probably a very profitable business. But, and then we learned that that's what you do in your relation. You know, you carry guilt and shame for your actions, and you set boundaries based on guilt and shame. And I'm sorry, but I've got to leave because I don't love myself. Well, okay. People are confused. So then we offer in our seminars, we offer what I think is concrete ways to know about self. It's about knowing yourself. If you have no foundation of self, how the hell can you set a healthy boundary? Your boundaries aren't going to be, like I said, rippling. They're going to be all over the place. They're going to be long, short, tall, fat, thin, everywhere. They won't be definable. What do definable boundaries look like, Aaron?
Boundaries that you can confidently speak from your heart about who you are and where you are and what behaviors you will enact and what you will and will not engage in.
In fact, healthy boundaries are proactive.
Yeah.
What a concept. Many people know in advance how you won't be effed with, messed with. That was good, that was a good one.
Good job.
And that's important. Do I set proactive boundaries? Consider these words. Dustin?
Yes.
For sure I do. Hey, I've noticed your trait for singing really loud in the office in the morning, except, you know, I'm in business, so like I really can't stand early morning singing. I'm wondering if we could compromise. I'll come to work later, you come earlier. You sing your ass off. Now this is not Dustin, for example. I'm just
I thought you liked my singing.
yeah, but you're free to do it. I don't get irritated that easy. That's the beauty of me. Because if I did, you're talking, oh my God, you're shocking. It's unbelievable, man. It's like, holy man, you can talk. And that doesn't bother me. I haven't said a word about it. I do laugh about it. Yes. And the boundary setting that I've set, Dustin, when have you seen me set boundaries?
With kids.
Absolutely. Have people seen how kids are around me?
Yes.
It's bloody magical. I don't know how I do it.